Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the second season of the Superintendent's Learning Series for Parents. I'm glad that you could stop by today and listen to further explanation of our website and the continuous improvement cycle that we have. I'm going to be going over the Learn section today so you can learn a little bit more about engagement, how we engage our parents and other stakeholders, as well as the professional learning communities and that we have every Friday. All right, so as I mentioned, today we're going to look at the four-leaf clover that's in front of you. It's not really a four-leaf clover, but it's our visual for what we do in the cycle of continuous improvement in Fort McMurray Public Schools. And so we're going to look at Learn today. I just want to go back and point out that the board has some foundational statements that they have developed, and that has to do with the vision and the mission and their beliefs for learning and for the students in the division. As well, we have the 4 priority areas that we are focusing on this school year. And so both of those are linked to what we do in the division for students. We want them to all be successful, and these are the areas that we're focusing on. So first, I would like to talk about strengthening quality teaching and leading. This has everything to do with our Professional Learning Fridays that happen. Professional Learning Fridays are a time for teachers and leaders to work at building the capacity in their own personal skills and knowledge so that they can lead and teach better, which will therefore impact students and their continuous improvement. Education changes and staff changes regularly, and there's always better research or something that the staff needs to learn about. And so having the gift of 13 PLFs is a way for staff to develop their knowledge and skills. Every year, we make sure that we survey staff about the progress of their learning, what's working and what can be improved with Professional Learning Fridays. As well, we ask them for evidence that they have that shows what they're doing is impacting their students. 8 of the PLFs this year started with 90 minutes of division collab time, which means that they were working with other staff throughout the division on common areas of interest. For example, I might be a grade 2 teacher and I need some supports or some increased knowledge when it comes to numeracy. And so I would find other teachers in the division with similar interests that could get together, share ideas, practice some things in their classroom, bring them back to the group, talk about it, and if things weren't working, make suggestions on changes that could be made. And so that is what happens during that division collaboration time. After this division collaboration time and the other 5 PLF days, this time is for school-based collaboration, which was developed by the staff according to their needs. So the school leaders work with their staff to review the student learning results, and then they identify school goals that are coherent with the division focus, and they plan for learning opportunities for the entire year. It's clearly collaboration, and it has to be clearly about collaboration. It's not time to be marking or grading papers. It is clearly in order to build their skills and knowledge. Individual school professional learning cycles are posted on each school's website as well. What you're seeing in front of you is just an overview of the division plan. Each school has their own on their website. To ensure that our Professional Learning Fridays and professional learning plans are having an impact, we continuously summarize and follow up on feedback from staff. We want to know through our surveys, how does Professional Learning Friday contribute to your continuous improvement of teaching and the learning that happens in the classroom? And so 3 times a year, we check in with the teachers. When it comes to Professional Development Day, we have one of those every school year, and that's what you see in front of you, the blue chart. That is the results of the feedback we got about Professional Development Day. That happens once a year, and we adjust that when we can. That is not the same as the PLF Fridays. because it focuses more on individual interest and, and learning that they want to do individually. And it only happens once a year, so it's a one-time deal. Here's an example of some of the feedback that we got and what we did based on it. So in the second green box, the third box from the right, it says, one thing I require to further support my learning is, and then you can see they've listed a few things: support for new curriculum, behavior support for all students, opportunities to implement the new learning, time to reflect, ask questions, and plan with my colleagues, and continuation of PLFs to support teacher growth in order to impact student outcomes. And so then we take all of these boxes. That was just an example that I read through. We look at all of this feedback that they give us and more, and we come up with some ways to show that we've listened. So they wanted to shift from 1 to 3 division collaborative times being in person for 90 minutes, so we did that. They wanted more of the full day school-based collaborative times moved to the beginning of the year so that they could increase the opportunities for professional learning and increase collective efficacy. So we did that. They wanted opportunities to focus on DEI with specific training and resources from division office. We did that. And this is how it happens every time we send out and get back the feedback for Professional Learning Fridays. So we're constantly trying to meet their needs. To ensure our Professional Learning Fridays and professional learning plans are having an impact, we are summarizing, seeking their feedback, following up on the feedback. We want to know, how do Professional Learning Fridays contribute to that continuous improvement of teaching and learning? So the continuous improvement cycle helps us to communicate how all of our planning and reporting is connected. When we learn, we also look at the results review piece, which is in the reflect section on that 4-leaf clover. But they're all connected in growing. Along with learning by staff and leaders, we also have various engagement pieces throughout the school year that take place. And these are some of those examples. I'll zoom in on the next slide so you can see better. This might help parents see where they can get involved in making decisions about their child's education. Because we often hear when we get our surveys back from Alberta Education that the parents don't feel they have an option to be able to have input into their child's school and decisions at the school. This is going to explain that a little bit better. School council is absolutely the best place to do this, but there's other ways as well. School council actually has reps that meet with the trustees every month or so, and school council can also invite myself or trustees to their meetings to get more information and ask questions. If you look more closely at some of these examples, you can see month by month the different forms of collaboration that have been happening for stakeholders. And these are all avenues to hear your voice and get your feedback. So you can see things like the networks group. That is the group that is the reps from each of the school councils, meets with the board chair and trustee committee. You'll see things like the Student Advisory Council and the Superintendent's Advisory Group of Students. That is the student voice who meets with trustees and the superintendent, and we ask questions about various things that are impacting them, and they give us feedback. You will see things like the Elders Council. The Elders Council meets every 6 weeks or so, and we talk about the things we're doing, and we get guidance from them on those activities that we're doing. We do send out this parent learning series is another way to engage you and ask questions. We have a superintendent's advisory group of educators who meets with me 3 times a year, and we discuss hot topics or current trends, current issues, and so on. So there's a number of ways that stakeholders are able to provide input and feedback to schools. and/or to the division and the board. A second way to become engaged and have your voice heard is through surveys. You can see a number are laid out all year long here to different stakeholders again. Your voice, and then like the report back for professional learning, we also will put out a response to share what we learned through the survey and what changes we've made or next steps that we have planned. So some examples from this year, we had a transportation survey for city transit that went out to everybody. Student Advisory Council regularly gets surveys. We had the Alberta Education Assurance survey for all stakeholders happen. We did some diversity, equity, inclusion surveys to parents and students and staff, etc. So there's quite a number of opportunities here for different stakeholders and different types of surveys. All of the listening that we do allows us to craft a plan, which is the next stage in the continuous cycle of improvement, and that is what I will speak about next time. So we did learn today. The next leaf on that clover, next time we'll be talking about the plan, and your schools are actually getting ready to develop their plans right now. Those plans are due in May, so that'll be perfect timing for us to discuss more about that. Just something extra I want to share with you. We do have some standards that we have to follow as leaders, as the superintendent, and as teachers. And they are all aligned in the work that we do. And the result of our work is that we are creating a quality school leadership, quality teaching, and optimum learning for all students in our school division. That is the result we're looking for, right in the middle in that green area. And so we are meeting our priority areas while we're doing what's best for kids. Meeting the needs of everyone, building the capacity of staff, getting feedback from all stakeholders in order to learn what's needed and move forward with our plan. Thank you for watching episode 2 of season 2 of the Superintendent's Learning Series for Parents. If you do have any questions in the meantime, please reach out and you can email me. As well, if you would like to invite me to your school council meetings, I'm open to that as well. Thank you.